Vocabio. Master English your way.
Vacuum, but I was instructed to not leave any footprints in the carpet or
standardized decisions. A teacher instructs their students, provides guidance.
An audience, while also instructing them in analysis and, just importantly, rhetoric itself.
Sometimes that listening isn't to instruct or to counsel. It's
that now in 5 minutes because we were instructed to finish at 7:30.
Of the depression that resolved even before the depression resolved.
Will become much easier to address and resolve.
Thank you. Well, thank you to all three of you.
Because of the public relations disaster of My Lai, resolves not to stop fighting wars.
I would have to agree with Josep Borrell, the arch-European bureaucrat, who said that
these episodes with great resolve and with greater strength.
I'm quoting Alessandro, maps that embroider the word within a discourse of affectionate.
Printed them on canvas and then embroidered on top. And I think eventually I left some parts.
Mona Lisa, the embroiderer, or the artist Leonardo da Vinci. And Mona Lisa, the embroiderer, or the artist Leonardo da Vinci. And
if you wanted to have this, fancy embroidered dress or whatever it might be, and it wasn't just for women, there were also like.
And that's because as this mineral starts to dehydrate, that's the first absorption band that you lose.
Markets, I think, would be it. We like to dehydrate a lot, so even if we get like
channels, the WeChats, the kind of micro-blogging, there is a lot of information exchange going on. In fact,
actually, he must be blogging right now as we speak. So
only to a certain point. Like blogging only has a certain perception.
It's kind of got into writing through mummy blogging, and I think there was a kind of drive. So
different. And then I started blogging, so I started writing about it
It's tiring or exhausting or annoying or frustrating or saddening or maddening or anything. It just is. Again,
I had my recorder off, which I was just saddened by. But she grabbed me and she said, "Stephen."
Seen many shuttle launches in my lifetime. I'm saddened by the decision to end the shuttle program. What are your thoughts on the decision?
As long as you want it to ripen and get this phenolic beauty, but then there's too much sugar.
Basically, it really slows the ripening process. The other thing to know is that there are some foods that.
One of the things that is possibly even weighing in the mind of Poland and
points in our mind at the same time and weigh them all against each other. We usually are
physically identical to us. We cannot actually weigh and measure their brains, but from the work that's been
like keeping this personality cult weighed far more, and yes, this is
far above it. The orbiter weighs 100 tons, and
the reality I discovered was actually a really sprawling community in hundreds of thousands across blogs.
Of course, and worrying I didn't have a passport, and then discovering it was Boston in Lincolnshire and having to retrieve them from this little market.
Line. The pandemic happened, and they discovered things like Instacart and Uber Eats, and they discovered
a good gathering. Until I discoveed that one item
to their bases, and we've discovered the algorithms in social media.
To actually get a sear on it, I would broil it so that you get some color on it, season it with the salt.
And the sugar. So this is Creole broiled catfish. This is one of the recipes in my book. And the sugar. So this is Creole broiled catfish. This is one of the recipes in my book.
But you can also broil it in the oven. There are instructions in the book for all the different ways to prepare the.
Think of it that way and conserve it.
Yeah, that's amazing, and particularly when you think.
And New Mexico, it's actually conserved by the federal government. We
don't, and as we desperately need to conserve and restore wild ecosystems if we're going to get through this century.
Good, and so if you love people, you definitely can serve, and it is service, depending on the type of city that you.
Its angular momentum is going to be conserved. What does that mean? When it comes in, it's going to be going really, really.
and I have them negotiate with each other. I have them get acquainted with each other. And often it's the case that it
helps you to get acquainted with the musicians, the music directors.
So the first thing is like you're trying to get acquainted. I would say use resources and tools to help you enter the space.
Believe me, climate scientists have become very well acquainted with their ignorance on the subject.
A little bit of the extra cornmeal that they used to season the fish, moistened it, balled it up, fried it, and then took it out.
North, rain had fallen, moistening the salt, which ruins its value if it cracks. So these
in this kind of like building, no, from Moisten and the work of an ecological urbanism, Charles in landscape urbanism, Neil.
A little bit of the extra cornmeal that they used to season the fish, moistened it, balled it up, fried it, and then took it out.
Or you could put some panko breadcrumbs, some crunchy breadcrumbs, just moisten them with a little bit of oil.
This bolt can take if you pull it apart, how much shear it can take, so if it gets a sideways force like that.
Cracked, the arches had sort of sheared, there was a lot of rust. The original house had just been the center.
Thinking about the red arrow, how much solar you are sharing. And the right answer, of course, might be to do 0. But the point is that you...
Sizable courtyard, which acts like a shared backyard, where collective conversations, performances.
To be introducing Michael Shear today. At CMC, Mr. Shear interned for the LA Times.
Forming these dome-shaped structures, and they're laminated inside, and I'll show you that here in a second.
With mostly cross-laminated timber and then stone as well.
And so we just laminated these cardboards and started creating this roll as if it's how that wants to.
But I put it through the pasta machine and I laminated it, and it was a real labor of love. But I was...
Do you have for them to ensure that they're not just relocating people, but they're actually growing local talent and nurturing them?
And they told us that we need to be relocated to the vineyard in our own country.
As we're talking to people about building their businesses here, or relocating here, or expanding here, as we're talking to people.
Startups and creative firms that relocated for similar periods of time. At the Brooklyn Navy.
Undock. After that, we will relocate the Crew 9 vehicles, that Dragon vehicle.
What will actually make our conversation, what will be fun to talk about? What do we need to talk about? What does this person need from...
Thing impacts them. I think there's so many confusing conversations around how tourism impacts local communities.
For that incoming thing, and then the conversation would start. And once that starts, then you're kind of locked into...
I think that's the context in a way for this conversation. Because if we are to try and meet the...
Swenson, who'll be moderating this conversation for us this evening, a nationally recognized design leader.
Because like all of us, I had absorbed all the proverbs, all the slogans.
MS was blossoming. We sort of started absorbing that mindset that speed was the indication of quality.
If they just absorb everything, then they'll end up being almost sort of enablers, facilitators.
Special about human brains is that we absorb what is around us. And I'll just...
And if they are okay, and they absorb that kind of level of a donation in one go.
I believe that this controversy is misplaced, and I'm going to argue that we should be using this procedure.
And our own expertise may be misplaced, and our judgments may be flawed. So without...
Well, we have misplaced displacement and migration in America. Look at LA.
Story of the misplaced priorities of the United States, along with its...
All day except for vending machine sushi. Because I'm that kind of mother. And
it's actually Tamra who's doing it, who have the reverse vending machines, and then they partner with the businesses too.
Grounds, community halls, gardens, vending and water kiosks, and sanitation centers.
The other side of the story. You don't want vending machines. You don't want a little student-run, the other side of the story. You don't want vending machines. You don't want a little student-run,
Vocabio, available in Google Play. Download, discover, improve your English.